Welcome everyone. Can everybody hear me okay? I'm Victoria Woodhall. I am editorial director of Get the Gloss, and welcome to this masterclass on cellulite solutions with Kate Shapland of Legology. Now, Kate, hello. Are you unmuted?
Yes, I just unmuted myself.
Oh, excellent. Welcome. So I don't know how many of you know Legology and the brand. I hope you all got your goodies. If not, they are on their way imminently. So Kate has a lifelong passion for finding solutions to cellulite. And we know 90% of women experience cellulite. I won't say suffer because it doesn't bother everyone. But it's something that is kind of, because it's so integral to our lymphatic system, so linked with our lymphatic system, it is really to do with our general well-being. So whether or not you are bothered by cellulite or looking for a solution for that or heavy legs, this is about general well-being and things we can do to look after ourselves. And there's no one better to talk about this than Kate. So how this evening will run. So we're going to have a little bit of a chat about cellulite, what it is, what it isn't, and bust that big myth that it's about fat. It's not, it's about flow, and Kate will explain that very shortly. Kate will tell her story, how she came to found the brand, and then we're going to take you through how to use these wonderful products that you will all be getting or that you've already got. The oil, the cellulite oil, the brush, and the cup. This is hilarious. Love this. So, yeah. Kate, over to you. Oh, and
Wow.
sorry, one more thing. If you're very welcome to keep your cameras on and join in the routine with us. I will attempt to do the routine as well. So you might want gallery view if you want to watch Kate and I together. Obviously, you can keep your cameras off. That's totally fine. And we will be sending you the recording afterwards, so you can follow it along at your own pace in the, with your products later. So, Kate, over to you.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much, Victoria. I really feel very honoured to be able to talk to so many people at once about this subject, because it's, as you say, I mean, yes, lifelong ambition to bring women a different and more refined, a more doable, a more grown-up approach to cellulite, if that's what bothered them. So it's just truly lovely to be able to talk to so many. I can just see a sea of names in front of me, some of whom I recognize, which is really rather lovely. So anyway, thank you for having me, and thank you for coming to this session. So as Victoria said, it kind of has become my lifelong mission to develop an approach to cellulite that is actually workable. But before all that, and prior to all that, and in addition to that, if you like, and where the whole story started really was to do with fluid retention and heavy legs. And that's really where I began. It wasn't really in the very beginning about cellulite. It was more that as a person, and these things often do come from a personal place, I experienced heavy legs. I was always sort of, especially in hot weather or when I traveled, I used to find that I had this real problem with my feet and my lower legs. They just used to swell up. And I just, for years and years, I was trying to find, oh my goodness, I've been spotlighted. I've been trying to find a sort of a way of dealing with this. And in my previous life, before I started as with a brand, was as a beauty journalist. So like Victoria, writing about beauty, and I did that for many, many years. So 25, nearly 30 years. And that put me in a position where I could see everything that was being brought to market for legs and cellulite and fluid retention, although there wasn't really anything in that respect, and everything that wasn't being brought to market. So I tried everything, tried all the treatments, tried all the products, absolutely everything. I think I remember once having my thighs injected with sort of like a paddle filled with sort of needles that injected this stuff into my thighs. Incredibly painful. What was I doing? Did nothing. And at the same time as this, I had, at that time, I was working actually for the Telegraph. So this was the last 14 years of my career. And I wrote a column for them. And I had a wonderfully vociferous readership who used to write to me, no emails then, really, at the beginning, and just say, look, this is what I want, and I can't get it, and I don't understand. So it's really interesting position to be in, seeing what was available on the market, seeing what the consumer wanted and what they understood, which actually, by the way, is an awful lot more than sometimes we give them credit for. And sort of being able to see everything from that viewpoint made me, I suppose, really focused me and made me think, wow, I know what's required here. And so then I just went headlong into this sort of research for treatments, leg treatments, and really good leg treatments. And I was really lucky because I met this lady, and I often describe her as a white witch. And everyone says, oh, you're not allowed to say that. You mustn't say that. It's not, you know, it's not allowed anymore. But that is truly what she was. And I didn't meet her through the business. I met her just on an off chance. And she's this wonderful Californian lady, tiny, about 4'3", incredibly strong. And she had learnt about a practice called bodywork massage, which, as you will all know, I'm sure, is about, I mean, there's a lot of variations on it, but for her, it was about molding the body by manipulating, if you like, the lymph. And I was completely fascinated by this. And I went to her for lots of sessions, basically for my own leg issues. And I just was blown away by what she taught me and how she showed me that not just massage could actually change the shape of your body, but also, obviously, we know about diet, but it wasn't just about weight loss diet. It was about eating the right kind of nutrition in order to, if you like, focus on those areas that were a concern to you. So your legs, so your cellulite and all of that. She taught me so much, and she completely turned my head around. And I've never found a massage therapist like her before or since. So
can you explain a little bit about why the lymph is so important here?
Yeah.
She was a lymph, you know, specialist.
She wasn't really a lymph specialist. What she was she just understood the body, particularly the female body, and how it works in terms of how it metabolizes toxins and how it places fat and how to move that fat. So her whole approach was about, as I say, moving your lymph. And she used to use her thumbs, and she used to go up the channels of your legs with her thumbs. Sometimes it was excruciatingly painful. And she used to focus on areas like behind your knees, which is where you've got the lymph nodes. And what she taught me was about the lymph, which I didn't even know existed at the time. I always thought, yes, it's about blood circulation and that's it. You just got to get your circulation going. But actually, your lymph is as important, if not more so, because what your lymph is this, if you did like a cross section of the skin, you'd see it was be like these little lines of sort of almost like milky color. It's sort of like some transparent milky color, and this is a network just like your circulation, your blood vessels, but closer to the surface of your skin. And what it does is, in the most sort of simplistic terms, is that it removes all the toxins, so everything your body doesn't want, be it bacteria, viruses, you name it, takes them out of the system, takes them to your kidneys, and they're then metabolized and expelled. Now, the difference between your lymph and your blood flow, your blood circulation, is that your blood has got your heart to pump it around your body. Your lymph doesn't move unless you move, okay? So if, like me, and I'm sure many of you, spend the majority of your life sitting down in front of a laptop, and you've got a predisposition to hanging on to fluid, you know, that's just a sluggishness that you have as part of your system, you will have heavy legs, you will get fluid retention, you will get cellulite. And what I understood about lymph in connection to cellulite, this is what really piqued my interest with cellulite, was that it's not about, God drives me mad, all you ever hear or all ever people think is cellulite is fat. Cellulite is not fat. What cellulite is actually a description of the environment around your fat cells, okay? So the reason cellulite appears in areas where there is a density of fat, so tops of arms very often, tops of your thighs, sometimes buttocks, in fact anywhere, it can appear absolutely anywhere. What has happened is that the fluid has got trapped around the fat cells in that dense area, and it shows because there's a density of fat cells there. And that's what misplaces the cells. And that's what causes that lumpy, bumpy, uneven look that, you know, we all know and love as cellulite. It never looks like orange peel. It's not that even. It doesn't even look like a lumpy mattress, which is just such a horrible expression. And it has got nothing to do with fat, except the fact that it's around the fat cells. So this is the myth that, you know, this whole thing about if you've got cellulite, you're overweight. We all know that that's not true, because you can be very, very slim and you can be very fit and you can also have cellulite, and you can be a bit more chubby and have cellulite. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how thin or whatever. So
you can actually feel heavy because of the fluid retention.
You really can. And also,
like you're heavier than you are.
You can. And also it can feel quite tender. Sometimes when you're really full and you're really congested, it actually feels painful to run up the stairs for a lot of women. And sometimes cellulite hurts when you touch it, and certainly when you massage it, it can hurt. And this is one of the reasons why. So having sort of understood this from her and having experienced the way she moved the lymph and helped clean my body, I just thought that there is such an opportunity here to be able to change the record on cellulite particularly, and to be able to introduce a product that could help the lymph and really help to, in that way, improve the contours of your legs and the lightness, which is why I call all the products light. They all have the word light on the end of them. So for me, it's all about helping people to understand the impact of the lymph on cellulite and on your body, on your whole shape of your body, if you like. And I think one of the other things I really understood from her, and I've tried to incorporate in my daily life and obviously in the brand, is that if it is cellulite that is your concern and you really want to try and manage it, you have to take a lifestyle approach to it. And whenever you say this to people, they very often say, oh no, I can't do it, and I've got to be able to eat, and I've got the children to go after, I can't do all that. It's simple. It's not about dieting away your life. It's about just tweaking areas of your diet. So you're eating food that help your lymph to push those toxins through and help you expel everything.
And you also mentioning toxins there, that how important the lymph is for our immune system generally. So
yes,
these techniques that we're going to learn are really supporting the working of one of the key things of our immune system.
Yeah, well, thanks for reminding me, because the lymph is one of the 5 parts of your immune system. Okay, so at the moment, even, you know, this point in time where we are at the moment with the pandemic, incredibly important. And I think that's partly, Victoria, I think that's partly why people have started to talk more about the lymph, because of it being part of your immune system. And the other really interesting thing is that I was reading the other day is that there is a part of the lymph actually in your head. And what it does is it's called the glymphatic system. And it's called, they're glial cells. And what they do is when you sleep at night, they clean your brain. It's just fascinating, absolutely fascinating. I've got more research to do on that. Anyway, back to lymph. So yes,
it's a whole body issue and a whole all year round whole body maintenance issue. So should we get going?
Yes, right. We're starting with the brush.
Spotlight you. So feel free, everybody, to join in with us if you have your products. Obviously, cameras off or on, whatever you are most comfortable with. I'm going to attempt to demonstrate as well. I'm in my shorts.
She's so brave.
So sorry. And of course, if you joined us late, we will be sending you the recording afterwards so that you can follow along again later. So what are we going to start with? So we have these 3.
Ready?
Yes. So what are we starting with?
You're starting with the brush, guys. Have you got your lymph light brushes? Okay, cool. That's it. This wondrously simple little device. Okay. Now I have a bit of a bee in my bonnet about body brushes, because so many of them are made out of plastic and they're still called body brushes, or they've got plastic nodules in them. Don't need them. You're not breaking up fat. This is about your lymph. This really simple tool delivers massive rewards. It's one of those joys of life. Okay, so simple natural bristles, sustainable wood. I've made it circular, so easy to hold in the hand. And there is a technique to using this product. A lot of people say, when you say, oh, we must try and body brush every single day, they go, I haven't got time. It takes you 1 minute, literally 1 minute or 2 if you want to push it. The way to use this product, Victoria is going to demo is in
okay.
quick flicks over your skin. Okay, no scrubbing, just quick flicks like this, just like that over your skin.
Upwards.
Always upwards. So if you're starting on your legs, you'd start at your feet, and actually sometimes
where do you start in your routine? Is there a kind of
feet?
Okay.
I tend to start at the feet. So yeah, let's see your feet. Have you got a pedicure?
No.
So you start at your feet, and you can start on the soles of your feet, but basically what you're doing is you are pushing, you're encouraging the lymph, and the lymph is just literally just underneath the surface of your skin. So it doesn't need you to be scrubbing at it. Okay, biggest myth about this bit.
So take it light.
Take it light and quick flicks all the way up, and then when you get to your knee, you can do a little bit more around the back of your knee, because you've got lymph nodes there, and they call it a cleansing station. Okay, you've got these lymph nodes cleansing stations behind your knees, in your chest, under your arms, around your neck. So if you're using this and you've got a bit more time, just give it a little bit more time around the back of those knees, just to get the cleansing station.
I've never, could you only think of brushing the things that you want to smooth? I'd never thought of the back of my knees.
So important, so important. And then all the way up the back, all the way up your thighs. That's it, over your hips, quick flicks over your bottom. And then what I tend to do from there is I then start on my hands.
So I would presumably go up the inside of the leg.
Yeah, absolutely. Do the whole leg.
So I've covered every bit of skin, presumably.
Yeah.
Okay.
But just quick flicks like that. This is how a lymphatic massage therapist would use this product. They do not. You would never ever see them scrubbing with it.
That's so interesting. And never in the shower. I mean, this is always dry, is it?
Well, here's another thing. If this is another really interesting one. A lot of people say you must only ever do this on dry skin. Okay, you can do this in the shower, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, as long as you're doing it properly, and as long as you're doing it, just sit in the shower. If you're lucky enough to have one of those showers which has got a little sort of place to sit in, sit down, stick your leg up like Victoria, and do it like that. It doesn't matter. You can even do it after you've had your shower. It really shouldn't matter. It's just about stimulating the lymph.
So there's a question. So you would never use circular motions?
You can use circular motions, Fanny, but I would do that on your tummy. Okay, now not everybody likes to do it on the tummy because they find it a bit uncomfortable. It's fine, but it tends to be better to do circular on your tummy, okay, in clockwise motions. So that's when I would use it in circular. Otherwise, as exactly as you're doing, Victoria, just upwards, feet to knees, knees to hips, hands to shoulders. Very important.
Start on my hands.
Yep. And this is really key because this is showing you that this is a whole body approach. The other thing about cellulite is that people think, okay, I know where I've got cellulite, got it on my thighs, hate it, need a cream, stick it on, and it'll go away. Yeah. Cellulite only looks local because that's where it manifests, because of what I was saying earlier about the density of fat cells.
So even though I'm doing here, I'm helping
exactly. So exactly.
It can help
whole body.
Cellulite on my legs.
Yeah, and actually, I was just writing a post earlier for Instagram, and the title of it was "What have my armpits got to do with my cellulite?" Because I thought that was the easiest way to explain to people. It's the whole body. Okay, so the good thing about this as well is that you are giving your skin a little bit of an exfoliation, which is always good. You're getting the blood flow going as well, which is good because, as we know, that brings all that fresh, nutrient-rich blood up to the surface of your skin and makes it pink and look healthy. And it preps your skin as well for when you apply product. Okay. Short strokes, quick flicks.
And any good time of day to do this? Or is this just where it fits into your routine? Does it?
I think the best time of day to do it is in the morning, because this is a stimulating thing. You don't necessarily want to do this before you get into bed. I think you just sort of, before bed is that time to have a lovely Epsom salt bath and knock yourself out. It's not getting everything going. So I'd say morning for this one. Once a day, only a minute or 2 minutes.
And does it matter if you've got body lotion on or oil on already, or should you do it on kind of?
It really, really doesn't, Victoria. Actually, sometimes I say to people, if you've got, really haven't got any time, and I very often do this, is when you get out of the shower, add a little bit of the cellulite oil, which we'll obviously show you in a minute, to the bristles. And just takes 2 drops, that's all.
Yeah.
And then just sweep it over your body, just like a sponge. So then you've done the 2-in-1.
And you wouldn't wash this, would you? I think. No, you don't wash it because it will...
You don't wash it because it won't last. It won't last forever anyway. It's not made of plastic. It's supposed to be, you know, just die a death, and then you get another one. It's just, that's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
You might as well be using a loofah. You could do, but a brush is a good thing because it's the strokes and it's the bristles that do the work.
And always towards the heart. That's what I've
always.
Is that because that's the way are you moving towards lymph nodes at key?
Exactly. You're moving towards those stations here.
Lymph nodes here. So we're brushing everything into, it's like putting stuff in the bin, isn't it? These are bins.
Exactly. I love that. That's a great expression. I'm putting it in the bin. That's exactly what you're doing.
Here, I guess, would I go that way then?
Yes. No, I would probably do circular movements on your chest, but I would do it very, very gently because the skin on your chest is so thin. Yeah.
And on the tummy.
And the tummy circular. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stand up and show you my tummy.
No, I'm not either.
You're all too brave for me. You're brilliant. So that's that. It's big rewards on little input, that product.
Now, and also anything on the back of the body or the back, or
it's hard. It really is hard. If you've got a loving somebody who can help you with that, then it's probably a good thing. If you can try, if you can get over your you haven't got one, but a muffin top, that's a good thing. Because a muffin top, here's another thing that this massage therapist taught me. You can get rid of a muffin top in one treatment if you have the right massage.
Wow.
They will be able to push it out, literally. And that, again, was one of those amazing sort of seminal moments with this woman where I thought, bloody hell, I need to tell the world about it.
Were you in agony, though, after that? Were you in agony after that massage?
Those massages are not comfortable.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. There are differences with lymphatic massage. That kind of bodywork massage is not comfortable. It's deep and it can be painful, and you never get used to that. There's no beating about the bush. However, lymphatic drainage massage is manual lymphatic drainage, MLD, is very, very light.
Yeah.
It's almost, they just stroke your skin. I don't know if any of you have ever had it, but they put talcum powder on your skin and they just stroke it.
Yeah. Because I never book in for those massages because I think, I don't want somebody just going, eh.
No, but this is a special.
Actually, it's doing quite a lot of good.
But that is because there's a special technique involved in that. And my God, you can have a hangover after a massage like that. It's amazing. I've tried it. The bodywork one, it does leave you a little bit sore. But as you say, it gets very deep and it pushes things around, and actually you have to have what you really need. And this is why it was so hard for me to find somebody who was like her again. These people who do these kind of massages, they tend to be very often sports related, professionals. They know how to do a massage. They know how to go deep. They're intuitive. They can literally feel their way around your body. They can feel where the congestion is. And that's what you want. Okay.
And there's a question about veins, if you've got prominent veins or varicose veins.
Okay, so you want to be very careful over those areas. Varicose veins is another area that I'm completely fascinated by. When you're brushing, again, be light. It's fine, but just be very, 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 have a very light touch with it. Varicose veins are completely fascinating. And in fact, one of the people who, again, was really instrumental in me bringing the products to market was a vascular surgeon I know who had developed his own special technique about working out why, as individuals, we get varicose veins, and we don't all get them for the same reasons. And so he developed this special way of doing x-rays on your legs so that you could see where they start, and very often they start in your pelvis, not actually at the point where you can see them. It's completely fascinating, varicose veins. So that's a subject for another time. Anyway,
it's fine with a light touch.
Light touch, very light touch. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any more questions? I can't see the questions, so here we go.
I can. And maybe we can talk about it afterwards. The name of your miracle lady.
Now, sadly, there's a bit of a story, I'm afraid. My lovely miracle lady is no longer with us. When I first started to know her. She was already in her late 50s. And she, you know, this was good 25 years ago. She moved to France, and then she retired. And now she's no longer with us. So the wonderful Shari
on her
watching us from up there at this point. However, I might just say though, I have we did develop a Legology massage very much based on her protocol, and we do it privately. Obviously we haven't been able to do it recently, but we do still offer it. We have 2 or 3 therapists who do it, and they'll come to your home and they'll do it, but it is and it's not as uncomfortable as the one that Shari used to give. We kind of tried to modify it a bit, but we did do one, and we will do more. We are developing more protocols. So yeah,
that's good.
Complete treatment.
So massaging the muffin top, is that circular? Is it?
Yeah, it looks like you've got a good bit of a style on that one. I think the circular is good, but the most important thing about this, Victoria, is to keep it just not to over just keep it simple. This is a keep it simple, stupid situation. It really is. There's a lady asking about short strokes rather than long. Yes, short strokes are best.
Yeah, so, the lady at Grace Belgravia, I think I had the yes, I think that's remodelage lady. It's sometimes called remodelage, isn't it? That type of massage.
Yeah, that was very painful. Yes. There's somebody asking, Rosella is asking about before night or day for body brushing, before or after meals. Definitely morning or day, as we were saying earlier. Before or after meals, I think probably before. I think you want to be doing this probably on an empty tummy. So when you have your morning shower, that's the best time for breakfast.
Shall we?
Yeah. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so this little product, this little baby, this is Cellulite, and I don't know if you can see. Well, you can see on your own. There is a hyphen between the word cellu and light. Okay, that's a very important hyphen. The reason that hyphen's there is because I wanted people to understand that this product was not cellulite, the word meaning fat. This is cellulite. It's lightening the area around those cells. That is the point of this product. Okay. So this was the second product I launched actually, and it's a blend of really deep drainage aromatherapy oils. So you've got your Siberian fir, you've got eucalyptus, you've got lemon, rosemary, all those lovely oils, potent. And I don't know if many of you have had the chance to smell it. Some describe it as being quite clinical. I think it's quite therapeutic. I often open it and just sit with it on my desk.
Oh yeah.
It's the kind of scent that says it's going to do business. It's going to do the business. This product is developed to be used quite sparingly and on targeted areas. Okay, so this is the only thing about my range that is targeted in the sense that you only put it on the areas you're congested. All right, so your cellulite areas. So what I do with this is I use a capful. And I don't hold back, actually. I think it's quite nice to have quite a lot of slip, although it will go a long way. And I'll apply this straight to, after body brushing, straight to the area of cellulite. Okay, so that could be your upper thighs. It could be around your knees. It could be your upper arms. Okay, that's the way. Yeah, warm it between
your hands. My thigh's going to take one for the team.
Always upwards. Now listen, Victoria.
Okay. Yeah, tell me how to do it.
Use your thumbs. Can you turn your thumb? That's it. Now turn them so that you're pushing them upwards, up your legs. That's the way to do it. That's it. Exactly. It's harder on your thighs. It's easier when you're doing that motion on your lower leg with our other product.
When you're sitting down, I think it's easier.
Yeah, it is. But really, yeah, and just keep doing it around the back of the leg. So if you hold them like this and then pull up.
I don't know if I can. I mean, I know I do a lot of yoga, but I don't. How do I get my thumb to?
Can you hold your hands like that and flip them around the back? Yeah, that's it. And upwards. That's it. Yeah.
Right, okay.
This is for yogas.
Can you use knuckles?
You can use your knuckles. And in fact, really good to bunch your knuckles behind your knees. And if you put some oil there, just do a gentle massage with your knuckles bunched. Exactly. Just to get those cleansing stations sorted and primed. Okay, so you want to have enough on there that because you're applying it to your whole leg. You see, unless you've got cellulite, which I can see nothing of at all. Yeah, no, she's just, honestly, you should have put some sort of cellulite special body stocking on to make people think that you've got it.
Honestly, no, it's just zoom. So always upwards.
Always upwards. That's exactly it. Now, it's at this point, before it's all absorbed, that if you're using the body, if you're using the cup, this is when you want to start using this. Okay.
Okay. So should we get onto the?
Yes. Now this is not essential, but it does help. And the reason this helps is that, again, it really pulls the lymph up. Literally, it pulls it up.
Yeah.
I know it looks odd. We've all had a laugh, but it does work brilliantly. It's basically a silicone cup. Yeah. And what you do is you squeeze it together, right? Like that. Okay. And you rest it on your skin. Okay. And then you let it go, just as Victoria has so expertly done. And then you pull it up. That's it.
Actually, it's so much easier when you've got a good amount of oil on here. Or
you've got to have some oil on. If you do it without oil, it does do it, but it's a bit sore and it's a bit juddery. So you really do want to have some sit there. Now,
just in kind of stripes going all the
way.
Yeah,
literally in stripes, upward stripes. Or, I mean, if you haven't got cellulite, if you've got just a sort of patch of it on the top of your leg, just do it over that patch of cellulite on the top of your leg. So it can take a bit of getting used to.
So squeeze, release, and then it kind of pulls your skin in.
That's it. But the most important thing is that when you release it, you actually get that vacuum effect of the skin inside the cup. You can sort of see it on my arm there.
There's a question, will it bruise?
It should not bruise.
You see Gwyneth Paltrow with her cupping marks on her
Yes, but that's different. That's stationary cupping. This is mobile. Now, stationary cupping is brilliant when you have it done by a great therapist. Yeah. It's a very similar principle. It's bringing the toxins up to the surface of the skin. However, this thing is moving. This should not bruise your skin. And if it does, you're doing it too aggressively. Okay. So just don't do that. I get really worried about bruising and things like that when I sometimes see I see these fascia sticks that women use, you know, and they think that the harder they go at it, the better it's going to be. Just don't. You've got this really delicate, lovely lymphatic system that's running, you know, just under the surface of your skin, and it needs the lightest touch. And that's the key behind cellulite. It really, really is getting that moving. It's not about, you know, scrubbing things away or rubbing all of them away or beating them with a stick. In fact, that is not a weapon, right? That's your friend. How are you doing with your cupping?
Yeah, we're doing well. So only on the areas where you've got things you want to move.
Yes, so really, that's quite targeted. You can do this on your arms. A lot of people use it on their arms. There's no reason why not. It's just wherever you feel you can get to. Well, there's a few more messages, Victoria, shall I?
Yeah, go for it. I'll just try and do my arm.
And how long do you cup each area, Rosella? I think you just do lines and you do it for as long as you can. You know, some people get a bit addicted to it and they spend quite a lot of time doing it. You could probably do this before you go to bed. This isn't so stimulating as a body brush. So if you've got a bit more time in the evening, this might be the way to do it. Or sitting watching television, actually, or Netflix. Just, you know, strip down to your pants, no one's watching, and use this thing with your oil. It's brilliant. And a lot of people say they can really feel it. They can feel it pulling the lymph. They can actually sometimes feel the pockets of fat popping. I haven't heard that yet myself, but that would be a fabulously satisfying thing to hear.
And so your tummy is, sorry, carry on.
No, there's just a question from Michelle saying, can you cup over your lymph areas? Yes, that is exactly what you're doing. You've got lymph everywhere, Michelle. It's in vessels and network all under your skin. It's not just one line. So it's everywhere. So when you use this and you put it on your skin, zonk, you're pulling your lymph. You're basically pulling your lymph up.
And what about the the bits at the back of your knee?
Well, you might find that quite hard to get to. That's all I'd say. I think that's probably
I can get my stick on there. So
yeah. So.
And I guess your tummy is another place where people might do that, like nail muffin top, or
you definitely could do it if you can do it on your muffin top, or if you've got somebody who would help you with that. It would be a great thing to do because again, it will push it all out. It'll push out. it's all about the cup. It reminds me actually of the best exercises for lymph and for helping with the muscles and so on and so forth. Now, you'll know more about this than me, Victoria, because you're very fit and active, but it's about stretching things out and helping things on. Things get very rigid and tight, I think, and that does not help, especially where fluid retention goes. So it's opening everything up and helping everything sort of move more freely. And that, to me, that feels like that what that does, very much so as well. So it's a good thing to have.
Excellent. So how long, I mean, when you get this kind of routine down, if you wanted to do the brushing and the cupping, I guess it would only take a couple of minutes in the morning. How long does it take you?
Long. I mean, as I say, that 1 to 2 minutes, really, really. I mean, longer if you want to, and if you've got the time, brilliant. But not late. No, it's not a big deal. Brushing, you're not there for hours breaking up fat. So that couple of minutes, maybe that might take you 3 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes to rub that in. And you want to give yourself a little bit of time afterwards, because it will absorb, because you'll have already brushed, but it's not like a cream, you know, an oil is an oil. Okay. So you really want to make sure you use it sparingly and really make sure you've rubbed it in and use that. And I would say if you're going to do just your legs, you probably need another 3 minutes, maybe 4. That. So but the most important to me, the absolute foundation steps, is those 2.
So if you do nothing else, do those.
This is a really good must-have. This is a good bonus product, and as I said, you get addicted to it.
And I mean, you mentioned when you had a massage that you could get quite a hangover after it. Can you? Is it the same with the brushing? Do you have to make sure you drink?
No, you do need to drink your water. You definitely do, but that's something you should be doing. Again, you know, this is sort of when one talks about lifestyle, this is all part of your approach to yourself, to your well-being, to yourself. And it's kind of hard these days to talk about these things without sounding trite, because everybody says, oh, everything is about well-being and all the rest of it. But this genuinely is a way, it's an approach to, if you like, rebalance your equilibrium, because that's why your cellulite, if you like, it's kind of like an outward manifestation of perhaps something that's not wrong inside, but there's a bit sluggish, and it's the best you know, manifestation of that. So yes, you do drink your water, and I would have a good old glug of water after you've done that little routine. Slice of lemon, brilliant, alkalinizes the you know, your system, fantastic. Talking about diet, and we were talking a bit earlier about that, Victoria, and about how so key to all this. And we try to, on the site, what we try to do, and in fact, one of the things that was so excited about developing Legology was that I, you know, realized that I had an opportunity to tell people about the whole 365 day a year approach, rather than just saying, right, here's product, away you go. In the good old days, beauty journalists used to write about product, and they'd say, well, use this cellulite product, but also follow a diet and do your exercise regime as well. And people just used to ignore that bit and think, no, this is a magic product. This is going to work fast. I want to do this. Now, I think there's such a slightly different culture around these things. People actually want to be doing the whole thing. They want a holistic approach. And being able to explain this on the site to people is really exciting. So
I was just thinking, you know, you're going to talk about diet, but I should mention that last year you did a challenge with which involved this 360-degree approach. And these were kind of real women with cellulite that they were bothered by. Can you explain a little bit about what the challenge was, what they did, and what the results were?
Thank you very much for reminding me. It was one of the absolute pivotal moments in the brand's history. I just one Sunday morning woke up and I thought, I've got these products. I can't afford to have clinical tests done on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if there are some women who will try it for me and tell me whether it works. And at the same time, I'm going to give them the diet advice that I know work for me, and the activity that I know can help. So I think I approached just all sorts of people. I think we did it through Facebook, and we had loads of women reply and say they were prepared to try it. And we called it the Cellulite Challenge. And in the end, we chose 20 of them, all different ages. So I think one lady was 18 and they went right up to 65. And there was one lady living in Australia, one was in America, a couple here, Spain, all over, all different sizes, all different lines of, you know, work, life, whatever. And we sent them the products, just like we sent you. And we told them how to use it and gave them the regime that I just talked about. And then we also gave them diet tips. And so we said, okay, ladies, every single day, we want you to have for your breakfast oat bran. Okay, tell you about oat bran in a minute. It's one of my big heroes. You've got to have oat bran. You've got to make either a pancake or you've got to have it in your natural yogurt.
How much do you have to have?
Well, I always say 2 tablespoons. I have 2 tablespoons of this every morning in my yogurt. The reason this is so brilliant, it's completely underrated, this thing. It's oat bran. It's not oat, it's not oatmeal, it's oat bran. It's like the groat. It's the thing that goes around the actual oat. It's like the jacket. And normally they used to throw it away. But actually, what's so brilliant about this is that it's like fly paper. So it's completely hydrophilic. When you eat it, it turns to gel inside your digestive system and it helps to take all the excess fluid there might be there. Again, any sort of stuff you don't want straight out of your system. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant stuff. And I always recommend it to people. I can't believe at the age of nearly 57 tomorrow, I'm saying, take this, guys. I should have discovered years ago. It's brilliant. So yeah, so we gave them the diet sort of guidelines, if you like. It wasn't sort of, you're going to lose weight, you've got to not eat this. None of that. It was thinking about, how can I help my lymph? So what would I have? I'd have protein, again, because it helps to push the fluid out. I'd have, you know, hydrophilic ingredients like chia seeds. Brilliant. They are so brilliant. They help, again, help push, you know, any trapped fluid out. Barley, the oat I was just talking about. What else is hydrophilic? Oranges, all those kind of things. And we gave them little recipes. And then we did suggest that they avoided white starch, okay? Because the problem with white starch and processed food is that it's, as we all know, it's full of sugar and it's full of salt. And it's not going to help. Obviously, salt is hydrophobic, so it helps you cling on to fluid in your body. And you want to just not have as much, you know, you want to keep that down. So we gave them those guidelines. And then we said to them, look, you know, at the same time, ladies, we would like you to, you know, walk around the park a couple of times a day, just be a bit more active. No, not necessarily, you know, really go for it. And do you know what? They were so brilliant. These 20 women, we set them up on a Facebook group, private Facebook group where they could talk and feel safe. And we obviously were on there talking to them. And I'm not joking. They just created this community among them of, I mean, it was so moving. And it was kind of, this was this time last year, so just as the lockdown was starting. And I think that may be partly why they all became really good friends and they developed this community. But I also realized that there was an opportunity, again, to talk about this and for women not to feel like cellulite is a taboo thing or, you know, they hate themselves. It's not about that. It's about feeling better and being part of people who also might have this issue and they might want to talk about it. And there they were sharing their recipes, talking about the latest dog walk, got to go down to the post office. It was absolutely fantastic. And I loved the community. It was the best thing.
And what kind of results did you, yeah.
Oh my God. And I have to say, I'm going to commit, I will very readily admit this. When I started them all off, I thought, what the bloody hell have I done? I have so put myself, you know, on the edge of a cliff here, because if it doesn't work, this is just going to be awful. And it really, it just worked so well. Some of them
measure the results, like weight, inches.
No, we did measure that. We asked them to measure themselves, but again, because it wasn't weight loss, we didn't necessarily want to encourage that old tape measure thing. We got them to take photos of themselves. Again, you know, when you do it yourself, it's not going to be clinical circumstances. Okay, so the light's going to be possibly slightly different, but they did befores, they did durings, they kept diaries, they talked about what they hated about doing, what they loved. And then they took photos of themselves at the end, and we had all of that content. And it was just amazing. We did a big story in one of the local papers about it, or one of the national papers about it, because It was a phenomenal result. But the most important thing to all of this was it was not an overnight result. It was two months. So they had to do it for 8 weeks, and they had to allow themselves to do the lifestyle approach. So not just expect to put that on and for it to perform miracles. And they all bought into it, and they understood, and they got it, and they understood the lymph. It was wonderful. So yeah, that was a success. Anyone who wants to try it again, just let me know, because I'm always saying to people, come and we'll set you off on one. So yeah.
And I just want to go back to this, because we're talking about getting everything moving, and the exercise part of your protocol, or what you recommend. It's really not, you know, do 3 hours of HIIT training. It's not fat burning, is it? It's
not unless you want it to be. It's what you do, but if you tend to be more active, then you'll be fine, because you're being active. It's fine. You're already pumping everything round. If you're somebody who, like me, tends to spend most of your day at your desk on your laptop, then you have to be a bit more purposeful about it. But again, as you say, it's not onerous. So I do now, I mean, I take my dog out every day, but now I do, instead of just an hour, I'll try and take him out for an hour and a half, or I'll do an extra lap of the park, and I say to people, oh, you know, if you're, you know, we're not so much necessarily at the moment using public transport, but if you're going on the bus, go walk 2-3 extra bus stops before you get on it. It's just being mindful about what you can do, you know, every day, just to get those little bits, get those steps in. We said to the challengers actually that we wanted them to do 8,000 steps a day, and they did do it. I think for a lot of people, 8,000 steps is quite a lot, actually.
Yeah.
They managed it. So really, it's upping your exercise, and the kind of things that are really good. And I found this in my life that have helped mostly with fluid retention and cellulite are yoga. Lottie Burke. I'm a complete Lottie Burke convert. So bar core work, brilliant, because it's those small movements, really intense small movements, which if you've got
movement,
so that's great. Again, anything stretching. So you know, your Pilates and the yoga, it's just, but most important of all, it's not necessarily about a regime. It's just being mindful of being more active all the time and keeping everything going, because once it stops, you know, everything becomes more congested if you've stopped for, you know, long periods. So I think, especially if you know, as I said earlier, if you're somebody who's, you know, spends most of your day sitting down, and actually it's not just that, it's a lot of women I've talked to find that they get, and this isn't so much about cellulite as heavy legs. They find they get this problem if they're on their feet all day. And I don't know about you lot, but I find sometimes, you know, in the good old days when we used to go out for, you know, parties and God knows what, I find standing up for long periods really became quite painful, and especially when it's hot. You know, your feet and the balls of your feet can get really painful, and your lower leg quite tight. And a lot of women suffer like that. So, you know, it doesn't have to be just because you're sitting down. It's standing and being stationary on a hard surface that can also be painful.
Is it the fluid kind of pools? Is it again not?
It does, yeah. It's gravity. It's cooling. Exactly. It's like when you fly. It's like when you fly and you look around, you get off a flight, and it doesn't have to be a long haul flight, and it affects men and women. And you look around and all their feet are spilling out of the, you know, it's pressure and pooling. Exactly. So you've got to keep moving, keep doing that on an airplane, pointing and flexing your feet all the time and walking around. So, and that's where, in fact, that neatly brings us to Airlight, which we weren't going to talk about, were we? But you mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, so this was your original product, because you started the business just wanting to make this one cream.
Yes, I did.
I also have to comment on how brilliant these smell, because I know Kate you went to the Capri leg school. They have this whole protocol on the island of Capri just to look after your legs, and French women go there and they just walk through water, and I don't know, that's why they have the most fantastic legs, because they go in summers just looking after their legs. So this smells of Capri lemons, and you wanted to make this smell gorgeous, all the products smell gorgeous, so that people would use them time and again.
Exactly. You're so right. I was very inspired by the Capri leg school. I was sent there when I was at the Telegraph, actually, by my editor, and she said, she knew I was obsessed with legs, so she said, look, can you go and do a review and go and see this place? I was like, oh, all right then, I suppose I will, if somebody's got to do it. And oh my God, this place, it was insane. And as Victoria says, you know, they had, I think the Italian women go once a year for 2 weeks, and they have their legs sort of massaged, and they walk through some warm and cold water, you know, proper thalassotherapy. And then next door, it made me laugh, there's a heart school. So they've got the leg school and the heart school, and the husbands go to the heart school because they obviously have to pay the bill at the end of it. But what was so great about this place is that very like the way the old massage therapist Shari taught me, it was about a lot of this is about feeling good. It's about confidence. It's about eating well. It's not necessarily about denying yourself things. And again, that was really something I wanted to get across to people. And when we developed this was the first product I made. I went to a French chemist because I knew I had to start right from the beginning with this. It was never something that, you know, I'd just go to a manufacturer and say, right, just pick that up off the shelf, stick my fragrance in it that I want, and away we go. No, it took us 4 years. And I said to her, not only has this product got to work really well to promote the lymph, because again, this is a deep drainage cream, but it's got to smell so good that every time someone opens it, say cold morning tomorrow morning, and you're getting up and I want to get out of bed, and you smell this and you remember your last holiday in Greece or wherever it might have been, or France, all those months ago, and it just makes you think, oh, I feel so much better for that. I now feel good. I feel good about myself. I'm not putting this on because I hate myself, because I hate my cellulite. It's because I love this cream. So you're kind of using it irrespective of itself. And that was the whole point to me. I wanted people to feel really good about it. So
how do you use it in conjunction with the other products? Where does it fit in your routine?
It comes after you'd applied that cellulite oil, and use, if you're going to use it, that, or just your body brush. And I would then apply that from my feet or from my ankles right up to my hip.
Yeah.
Okay, over the whole leg. A lot of people put this all over their body, and I don't blame.
And it's not one that you have to, I mean, it's not so full of oils that you should be sparing on. This you can kind of.
It's not at all. This isn't at all oily. This is an emulsion, so it's a cream gel.
Oh, it's lovely.
And it's very, very light. I sort of describe it as the sort of like the uncooked inside of a meringue, you know, when you haven't cooked a meringue for long enough and it's all a bit runny. That's what it's like, but it's not obviously sticky. It's quite watery, so you don't feel when you put it on, and it melts in quickly, because I said to the chemist, I want to be able to get up, put it on, and then get dressed. I don't want to stand there for half an hour. So that was important.
Yeah.
So I did start with that product, and that came from that whole heavy-legged, you know, getting off a flight, feeling really sort of tired at the end of the day, don't want to go out, it's too hot, my legs are swollen, deeply unsexy problem, sexy solution that feels great to wear and use.
Can you use that one at night as well? It's not
yes,
invigorating too. Yeah.
Really good to use that at night, and really good to use this at night. In fact, if you were doing a regime where you wanted to, let's say, manage your cellulite before you were going on holiday, and whenever that happens, that would be the routine I would recommend. So to use the cellulite oil and your brush or your cup, and then put that on your whole leg afterwards. And I would recommend doing that for 2 weeks. And you will see a massive benefit. And also, obviously, you know, eating well and drinking your water. So yes, but you can use this on its own as well. Keep it in the fridge in the summer. It's really gorgeous.
Yeah, and I think you do a tinted version, don't you, as well? So that
my lads mentioned that.
I've got that one. Yeah, I really like that one. But yes, it's got a bit of a tint in it. So if you feel like your legs are looking a bit peaky, actually, I use that.
It's really good, Victoria. This product. It's the whole point of this product was that it was just incredibly sheer, and that it's wash off. Because I love self tan, but you don't always get it right. I've just put a bit on my back of my hand.
It's really subtle, but it's
very, very subtle.
If you're cat-candid like me with fake tan, you can kind of you can't mess it up with that.
But it's the same as that, same formula as that. So it gives you that lovely lightening sense of lightness, but also the sort of tinted color, a little bit of tinted color. So it's kind of like a migratory product when you come out of spring and into summer, and you know, take your trousers off, put a skirt on, and just look completely horrified at your legs. So that's where it
like
really
I did this evening. I haven't worn shorts.
So yeah, so that came after Airlight, and then we did a little exfoliator as well, and that Exfolite. Yes, you got that there.
Yeah.
That was that's just one of the.
It's a scrub.
It's a scrub,
Salt
and it's sort of it's a slightly bonkers product, but completely cult-like. It's sort of, I've never seen anything else like it on the market, and the reason for that is it had to fit in with the concept of the brand. So it had to be about helping the lymph.
Yeah.
So what I did was I combined Himalayan pink salts. Oh, Miss Bubble likes bonkers. Yeah, we all love bonkers. Himalayan pink salts, which have got a diuretic property, with sea salt in a little bit of oil with a shake of lemon peel. That's it. And you apply this slightly differently, this exfoliator. You apply it to dry skin. So you get into the shower, and before you turn it on, you scrub it and upwards up your legs. It's very crunchy. The last thing I wanted was that sort of chase the grain situation around an inch of your thigh. It had to be really, really crunchy.
Yes, yeah.
So that's, and then you wash it off, and it's water soluble, so it comes off a little bit like, it's like it goes sort of milky, and it leaves your skin very, very soft. And we now sell it in that box, but we also put it in sort of single sleeves as well, so you can buy one.
Yeah, so you can give that a try. And we will be sharing a discount, a Legology discount tomorrow when we share the recording. I hope you'll be able to kind of see what we did, but
right.
Yeah, so that the discount will be coming exclusively to you. And if you love the smell, the candle, this is brand new, and this is the gorgeous Capri lemon smell, and I have to say, what a great job you've done with that. I mean, you didn't ask me to say this, but £10 of it go to laptops for lockdown learning.
Yes.
Yes. That, to help kids have access to the technology they need for lockdown. Yes. That was a really, really great thing to do.
Yes, that came together as it's great. We called it the holiday at home candle, because it's obviously the smell of the Amalfi lemons, just like the Airlight and the other products. And it just made complete sense to us that we would give £10 from every purchase to the Greenham Trust for their laptops for the kids. So
brilliant, Kate. Thank you so much.
Real pleasure.
So I think the takeaways from that are upwards, onwards and upwards, always upwards, keep moving, be gentle on yourself, don't beat yourself up with a brush or anything else, or having cellulite, because it's related to hormones, it's an estrogen thing,
Yes, there's a lot to be said for that. I won't get on it now, but there is.
And enjoy, you can make an enjoyable experience, looking after yourself. It's a lovely immune supporting self-care regime, whatever you think about cellulite. So
yes, it is. You're right.
Thank you so much, and thank you everybody who joined us this evening, and I hope you got to find out a little bit more about these lovely products, and that you enjoy using them.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Enjoy it with our follow-up recording. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kate.
Lovely to meet you all. Bye.
Bye.